everybody, it's Matt here, and today, not much you can tell from this box, I'll admit, but I've got one of the new M2 Max Studios. Now, I've got the base model, which is the M2 Max, with upgraded hard drive. So I went from the 512 gig up to the 1 terabyte. So with this one out of the box, and we'll have a closer look at it. Pull our handy opening tab down. That gets us into the box on the outside anyway, and then we've got our Mac Studio box on the inside in here. So there is the Mac Studio M2 box. In typical Apple fashion there, we've got obviously the product on the front, logos on the side, back of the product on the back of the box, all of our fine print and everything else is on the bottom. And we have quite a nice sturdy handle on this box. So we'll pull the pull tab here, which is just this little one, to release the seal. And then we can open it up. So this one looks to open this way, like so. On the top of the box here, we have got our, designed by Apple in California, little pouch, which this usually contains all of our manuals and things. Yep, got our manual, our warranty info, warning about the cell battery in it, and Apple sticker. Then we've got a couple of arrows on the sides of our boxes. Looks like we're meant to fold them out. Yep, there we go. Stops at that point. Front doesn't appear to release, but inside is the Studio. That's it, all wrapped up. And there's a decent amount of weight in it. Underneath it, in our box, we have got here our power cable, and that's everything that's in the box. That's it. There's nothing else. And it actually appears this base bit, there's folded card underneath it, kind of like a spring, appears to have a bit of rebound in it, presumably to help transport the Studio safely. So that's some really cool packaging. Really sturdy, really solid, really nice box actually. So let's have a close look at the Studio. First thing that jumps out to me before even actually opening up the Studio is the power cable. This uses the 3-prong power cable. What stands out to me is that this is a braided cable, which is pretty unusual for this type of cable. And it's the same kind of braiding that Apple has been using across all of their products lately. And it generally results in a sturdier, longer lasting cable that also has better flex. So that's a nice thing to have. And also, of course, a very small plug at this end as well. So not taking up space on your power points, which is awesome. Now, let's look at the Mac Studio. So this piece here, this is going up, unsticking. And there's the base piece. And there is the Studio. Of course, on the top, the Apple logo. Of course, on the top there, the Apple logo. On the front, we have our power indicator, SD card, reader, and 2 USB-C ports. Now this is the M2 Max model, as I mentioned. So that means these are 10 gigabit per second USB-C ports. The M2 Ultra actually comes with Thunderbolt 4 ports on the front instead, which is 4 times as fast as these ones. Over here we've got obviously our ventilation at the back, as well as the ventilation on the base of it here. Then we've got on this side 4 times Thunderbolt 4 USB-C ports. So they're supporting USB 4 and Thunderbolt 4, both up to 40 gigabits per second, which is pretty awesome. They also support DisplayPort and backwards compatible with USB 3.1 Gen 2, which is up to 10 gigabits per second. We've then got a 10 gigabit Ethernet port here, power input, 2 USB-A ports, which support up to 5 gigabits per second, a HDMI port, and a 3.5mm headphone jack, plus of course our power button over this side. As with the Mac Mini, the edges are quite sharp actually. They're very hard edges, but it looks really schmink. On the bottom, we have a Kensington locking point, and then we've got a round rubberized foot that sits under the whole Studio. So overall, this looks and feels really nice. It feels really solid, really quality. I'm leaving fingerprints all over it already. Common of Apple products, unfortunately. These ones have a ton of connectivity on them, as I've mentioned. One of the things that is pretty cool is in addition to the 10 gigabit Ethernet port that's built in, these also support Wi-Fi 6E out of the box, the 802.11ax protocol, which means if you've got a wireless access point that supports it, you can potentially get speeds of between 500 megabits and up to about 9.6 gigabits, which is pretty awesome for Wi-Fi and makes it almost as fast, potentially, as a wired 10 gigabit Ethernet connection. Of course, it might not be quite as stable, but it's pretty fantastic speeds to be looking at, regardless of how you're connected, whether wireless or wired. So Apple have really packed a ton of kit into these boxes. Yes, they're a little bit bigger than a Mac Mini, not as big as a Mac Pro though, and absolute ton of stuff in here that makes these super capable little performance beasts. There you go, guys. That's it. That is the Mac Studio and everything that comes in the box with it. Like I said, that braided power cable, which is pretty nice, and of course, manual quick start guide, a decal, and the Studio. And that's it. There's nothing else in the box, nice and simple. So I hope you found this video helpful in some way. I mean, it's just an unboxing. There really is not much in the box with these ones to unbox. But nevertheless, I hope you found it helpful in some way. And if you did, make sure you give this a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. More videos like this one from me. And of course, if you're looking for one of these, make sure you check out the affiliate links down in the description too. I'll catch you next time. Bye.